Я зачитываю. Гражданам России. В ночь с 18 на 19 августа 1991 года отстранен от власти законно избранный президент страны.
The fall of the Soviet Union was a major collapse that helped propel Russia into the capitalistic powerhouse and in turn affecting the common people of Russia and the Russian economy, forever changing Russia and its people. The USSR, officially known as the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, stood as a formidable nation in Eurasia from 1922 to 1991, encompassing the present-day territories of Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Estonia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Ukraine, and Uzbekistan. It was a vast geopolitical entity. This military and economic powerhouse operated under the communist regime, positioning itself as a global force on par with the United States and Great Britain. The USSR played a pivotal role in World War I, providing crucial support and contributing significantly to the Allied forces. Beyond its military prowess, the Soviet Union was a key participant in the space race, achieving groundbreaking scientific milestones, including launching the first person into space. The USSR's legacy is further marked by its enduring impact on global politics, scientific advancements, and its role as a major player during critical historical moments. The collapse of the Soviet Union was an all-around process that unfolded over several years. Mikhail Gorbachev's reform policies, perestroika, and glasnost aimed at addressing economic inefficiencies and political stagnation, but inadvertently exposed the deep-seated flaws of the Soviet system. The Chernobyl disaster in 1986 and subsequent Eastern European revolutions further eroded public trust and marked the end of the Iron Curtains, as countries like Poland, Hungary, and East Germany abandoned single-party rule. The unraveled acceleration with the declaration of independence by the Baltic states and other Soviet republics. The August 1991 coup, orchestrated by hardline communists, failed and strengthened non-communist leaders like Boris Yeltsin. The subsequent dissolution of the Soviet Union in December 1991, marked by the signing of the Bielefeld Accords, officially ended the Soviet era. Republics like Ukraine and Belarus declared independence, leading to the lowering of the Soviet flag on December 25, 1991. The collapse of the USSR marked a seismic shift in global geopolitics, symbolizing the end of the Cold War and the emergence of independent states in the former Soviet bloc.
Hello, what is your name?
Hi, my name is Evgenia.
Nice to meet you, Eugenia.
Nice to meet you, Nikita.
So you are my...
I'm your mom.
Yes.
As Russia gained independence, it faced a daunting economic collapse, grappling not only in the aftermath of Gorbachev's policies, but also with a mammoth task of transforming the entire economy.
Number two, how was life like during and after the collapse of
What
the
the
USSR?
life like during the after the collapse. So, yeah, as I said, I almost do not remember the time then the collapse exact happened, but I do remember the life after that. And I do remember that my family collected the money to buy the car, and it's basically like one day or a couple of days event, and their money was like the price of the money dropped significantly. Like
So the
inflation was very high, so they were like their money almost disappeared.
The early days of independence brought a drop in GDP by about 1/6, and life became harder due to high economic pressure. In 1992, the Yeltsin government, eating into stock store shelves, removed price controls, leading to a growing sense of uncertainty. Economic uncertainty led to a loss of faith in the ruble, and by 1995, the government worked to stabilize the national currency through loans from the International Monetary Fund and income from gas and oil sales. However, this stability was short-lived, with the ruble collapsing in 1998, forcing the government to withhold payments due to mounting debt.
Yeah, talking about safety, how was so I read that the police force was kind of not great after the collapse, and that like bribery was very common and crime was very common after the collapse. Is that true? Or like
it is kind of true, but it was not that bad in my city, because my city wasn't the one of the biggest city. It wasn't a big city. Maybe it's more worse than bigger cities than mine.
All right.
The aftermath was felt by the citizens. Poverty persisted, and a sense of chaos ensued. The Russian mafia stepped into power void, and corruption among government officials became rampant. Those who dared speak against corruption faced arrest, exile, or even worse. Different post-Soviet nations took divergent paths. Some, like Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, prospered with oil and gas exports, but faced the challenges of corruption. Others, such as Lithuania and Latvia, embraced Western ideals, while countries like Armenia and Tajikistan struggled with poverty and political instability. Many Russians witnessed what seemed like bandit capitalism, a rise in crime and corruption, a drop in living standards, and the collapse of social services. The weakened state under Yeltsin failed to fulfill its basic responsibilities, with the legal system, health, education, and social services under incredible strain. The turbulent 1990s saw the emergence of Russian organized crime, with shootouts, assassinations, and criminal activities dominating headlines. The rise in crime shocked a population that had barely encountered such incidents during the Soviet period, and the Yeltsin regime struggled to combat this wave. As the Iron Curtains lifted, so did the rigid structure of Soviet-era classrooms. The dawn of change marked the beginning of a profound transformation in Russian education. The curriculum underwent a revolution, shedding the ideological constraints of the past. Humanities and social sciences, long neglected, found a place in the new educational landscape. Decentralization became an order of the day, empowering regional authorities and institutions with autonomy to shape educational policies and programs accordingly. As the Soviet Union dissolved, economic tremors reverberated throughout Russia. State-owned enterprises faltered, leading to layoffs and a surge in unemployment. The privatization wave swept through the nation, reshaping industries. Jobs were lost as state enterprises underwent reconstruction and privatization, but it also paved the way for a burgeoning private sector. The job market dynamic shifted from centralized planning to a competitive, market-driven system. Workers faced uncertainties, adapting to a new era where employment had to be actively sought. Unemployment surged, wages fluctuated, but amid the challenges emerged opportunities. The private sector, fueled by entrepreneurship, became a beacon for those navigating the job landscape. Workers adapted, some retraining and acquiring new skills to stay competitive. Occupational mobility became a necessity, and the pursuit of opportunity in emerging sectors defined a new era of employment. As the formal job market struggled, the informal economy thrived. Self-employed and alternative livelihoods became pathways for survival, reshaping the social dynamic of the nation. In final, the sudden transition from a communist to a capitalist economy and the poor attempts at reforming the economy by the Russian government caused mass unemployment, hyperinflation, a lack of trust among the common people, increase of corruption and crime. This is how the collapse of the Soviet Union propelled Russia into the capitalistic powerhouse it is now. Its legacy forever affected and shaped the Russian economy, labor market, and people.